There it is. Hey, man, it's 9:43 on a Friday. Y'all know who fought it was. I'm always camera ready. I'm camera ready when I wake up in the morning. No, I'm not Beyonce. I didn't wake up like this. I definitely had to brush my teeth and get Friday started. It's football season, so I was looking at a bunch of stuff that I didn't have to look at, but I came to the studio early, and DP called me and said, bro, I'm going to be 2 hours late. I said, you going to be 2 hours fired. Point blank period, man. I just want to talk. Y'all know what it is. Please come in, sit down, enjoy yourself, have a great time. We have some great topics. We have two beautiful ladies via remote. I'm not going to say their names. I'll wait to introduce them, but tonight we want to have the conversation stemming around marriage still. We've kind of been on this wavelength as of late, and we're just going to stick with it. How long is too long to wait to get married, or is there any pressure to be married at all, being a woman in today's society? Do women sacrifice their own happiness just to say that they have someone? Okay, you just kind of you kind of threw me off, bro. Like, you see, I was right in the middle of my joint. Now you pause. Now you made me forget. And then, do women choose not to heal by holding on to things in their past? Yes, this should be a conversation of all conversations. We'll get into it when we get into it. DP was late. It wasn't me. I just want to talk. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey, world, I want to talk to you. Bring a change to your brain, provoke thought to you. Invite your art to my world, don't open part for your art. Here's transparent, leave it on the table. Join me on this journey each and every time you're able. Might find a few cracks in the human, but mine's stable. This is not a platform for restrictions. We talk to sinners and Christians. Speaking something of interest, then it make me no difference. If you're open-minded, different, don't get your resistance. Pay attention, we might teach you.
My camera's not working. I had a call that came through, so I'm putting my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, that might help, boss lady.
I don't have my
For all of you watching, that's boss lady. She can't get her camera working, but she looks as good as she looks. So we just gonna go with it. Okay. In the building, we have Miss Boss Lady herself, the owner of Rich Gang, the mother of the greatest graphic designer we've ever come across. She's graced the space, sat on the couch, chilled with us. You know what I'm saying? And now she's at home looking as good as she looked. And also, we have Miss Lloyd herself. Man, girl, that little hairstyle, girl, you better stop before I get in trouble, girl. I ain't got no makeup on. Meanwhile, she was just sitting here. Y'all got to see the way she was eating this pizza. I was like, they didn't feed you at work today? If they didn't feed you at work today, you need to quit that job. And then, of course, in studio, I got this motherfucker.
This one's so annoying.
Hey, man, listen. Anytime that I'm not in front of y'all, the time that I say that I'm supposed to be in front of y'all, I'm just going to blame DP. I don't give a damn whose fault it was. Maybe I dropped the ball. Maybe I didn't handle what I had to handle. But as always, it's DP's fault, man. Either way, it's Friday. DP, say what's up, man.
Man, it's good to see y'all, man.
I really don't want to be able to let you tell nobody what's up, but you might as well say what's up.
Hey, it's good to see y'all. We ready to go. We're going to get started. We late.
Man, we are late, but always on time. What did I used to say? We late, but we always fashionable. I got on this nice white new T-shirt Dennis bought me. You know what I'm saying? He was late because he had to go to Walmart and get me some new T-shirts. I was looking like somebody's old grandfather in this joint earlier. But either way, man, we definitely want to have a great conversation. And keeping with the conversation that we have been having the last few weeks, we're going to center it around the women today and find out what they think, how you all feel. So here lately, what we've been trying to do in the comment section, shout out to everybody who's slowly but surely getting in here. We love and appreciate y'all. If you are currently here, please slide on over, hit that share button, man, and get everybody watching this joint. We're a little bit late, but we're going to make it happen. We are going to try to get to all of the comments, even so much so that my incomparable co-host DP, like, yeah, bro, after the show, get in them comments, bro, respond to the people, bro. They need to hear from you. They need to see you. So that's what we've been doing. Y'all were in here talking Tuesday. I'm talking about, it was so many comments. I was like, yep. Not reading all of those, you know what I'm saying? Because we definitely had it going, man, and it was a great conversation. We appreciate you all for rocking and jamming. Let's get this thing started. DP, where do you think we should kick it off today, man?
Man, I like all three of the topics.
All three of the
We
topics
can't miss.
definitely hit, man. Shout out to Big Sybil. She's in the building. Volsky, how you feeling? Miss Page. Cuddy Carruthers, how you feeling? And the man, Seta, we got to get you in here. I know we keep saying it.
I can't wait.
I know we keep saying it, but whenever you feel comfortable and you feel like you're ready to get out the house and come sit down, please slide. We'd love to have you in the building, man, because you are always in the comments and you are loved for it. Ladies, Miss Lloyd, Miss Ward, how y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's Friday night, and it's the first of the month. So,
and just got paid.
I was going to say you just got paid.
mm-hmm.
And you look like you just tried to, and you look like you just come off of trying to get a man. Let me find out.
Y'all go quit doing this.
Miss Lloyd, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. My pockets is light because I just paid my rent, but thank God I was able to pay it in these times, you know.
I know that's right.
Hey, man, as long as everything get paid.
My landlord ain't going to see me to the 5th.
Man,
I'm
listen,
dodging him like a mug right now.
I'm sleeping on couch to couch, so I'm not paying nobody's rent. My pockets stay heavy. It is what it is, man. So let me ask you, ladies, I don't know who wants to take this first, but last week, Usher put out a video, man. There was a couple people in the video, a man and a woman. He's singing the matrimony song. He's walking around asking, who wants to propose. A guy takes the microphone. He starts singing the song. Usher kind of his attention gets diverted off somewhere else. When he spins back around, the guy has given the microphone back. Usher like, man, you ain't gonna propose? Guy like, nah, man, I'm not proposing. I wish I had the video queued up, but I don't. Usher say, man, how long y'all been together? He say 17 years. Is there any pressure after 17 years of being in a relationship to be married? Is there a reason to be in a relationship for 17 years? Take it away.
It won't be 17 for me. I mean, you men know. Y'all gotta get me started on here. I was not trying to do this with y'all. But men know if they want to marry a woman or not. And it don't take 5, 6, 10 years to figure that out. So it's a no for me. I feel like men know within the first year if they can see themselves with, their partner. So it don't take all that.
It don't take all that?
No, it don't.
I mean, but what if he's trying to get himself situated, boss lady?
Now, if he's trying to get himself, more stable, that's one thing. But there still needs to be a timeline on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a couple years. We're going to reevaluate this. We're going to see what progress. Like, you sometimes got to run a relationship like a business. Where's we at? What's the goals? What are we doing? Because that's just wasting time,
I like it. That's clean. When I first saw the video, I reached out to DP. We was both looking at it together, and he said that there would be an argument in that house because he took the mic, sung the matrimony song, and he didn't propose. Was there any pressure on the woman's side to be proposed to, or should that man not feel any pressure at all for just loving his woman for 17 years?
At this age, I think that everybody's relationship is different. If you've been with somebody 17 years, y'all have a common law marriage at that point. Like, I feel like as long as I'm on the life insurance, as long as we're both on the mortgage, marriage isn't always necessary. And I do agree with everything that she said. A man knows, the first year. But at the same time, he's given this woman 17 years of his life. I don't think he's going anywhere at this point. So I think for women, it's a pressure once you hit a certain age. You're like between 25 and 36. If you want to be married, you do start feeling this pressure like, okay, I got to find a husband. I got to find a man. I got to find somebody who's going to put a ring on it because it's like I'm going to age out of this bracket. And then society deems me, unwantable, whatever. But I feel like if you've been with somebody 17 years, y'all locked in. Y'all ain't going nowhere.
I like
That's
that.
just my personal. take on
So
it. And
before I hand it off,
everybody doesn't have to get married. You don't have to get the government involved. You don't have to have a huge wedding. If they go to bed every night and they like, I love you too. Everybody know that that's this man wife at this point. 17 years? Yeah, no.
That's a fact.
yeah, it's
I
super
agree.
clean. Before I hand it off to DP, I want to ask you, boss lady, another question. But real quick, shout out to Volsky, shout out to Redshift, man. We appreciate y'all sliding, man. We hope y'all have a good time, man. Stick around, it should get real interesting. Real quick, boss lady, do you think that there's any pressure to be married by a certain time as a woman?
I don't think that there's any pressure anymore. Society has changed over the years. I mean, you got
Facts.
cougars out here slugging. So, you know what I'm saying? They dragging with that wagon, okay? So I don't think that, and y'all know what I mean by that. I don't think that there's any pressure. I think women have came a long way. We are empowered, okay? I feel like insecure women may feel that way. But as long as, you know, you're confident in knowing who you are, you have standards and you're not gonna settle, I don't feel like there's pressure on getting married at a certain age. You know, to be honest with you, a lot of us have careers. We're entrepreneurs. We have things going on for ourselves that occupy our time more than just a man. I mean, I don't think
I heard
society's
that.
looking at us like, oh my God, I gotta be married by 45. It used to be like that 40 years ago. It ain't like that no more because you know, it's women out here 60, still got it, still looking good and attracting younger men. So I don't feel like there's a particular, you know, age requirement that people should try to make sure they married and get a company. When you find love, you find love. And age ain't nothing but a number. Ain't that what R. Kelly said?
That's what he
So
said, and Aaliyah echoed it, so we definitely not mad. DP, so after they leave Usher's show, bro, when they get home, what does that conversation look like?
I think that probably looks like an argument. But what's so crazy is, should it look like an argument? That's like the first thing I thought. Like the first thing I thought, like, is if she's not married to this man, is she embarrassed right now?
Yeah.
And if she is embarrassed, should she be embarrassed? But a lot of times people feel like social construct should dictate what stage of life they're in.
Facts.
So a lot of women don't feel comfortable with being in a relationship with a man for 17 years. They'll look at that like, why ain't I good enough for you to marry? Do you agree, ladies? Is that correct? Is that how you would feel? It hit the
I mean,
deep
I
voice
I
chat.
do agree with DP. I mean, I would be totally embarrassed if Usher is walking around passing the mic talking about who about to propose and you grab it and you don't propose. I mean, I would feel embarrassed. I would feel like, um, you know, yeah, it probably be you. He probably wouldn't get no meals all week. I'll be honest with you, because I'll be like, we don't have to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Because of the embarrassing part. So, um, you know, to each his own. You know, I don't judge other people's situation, but it just couldn't go in my house. So I can't really answer all that.
Would you be embarrassed, Mayed, if he didn't propose in that night?
No, I wouldn't because we've been together for 17 years. So I
I
knew
Right.
like
that
it.
night was not the night he was going to propose.
That's
Like,
exact.
at
That's
that
what I
point,
told
I
him.
would have thrown marriage out. I think I would have forgot about marriage after about year 7, 16, 15. Like, that's situation. Like, I don't, and that's why I say to each his own. Like, she left that idea of marriage alone a long time. So going to an arcade, they probably laughed about it on their way home, to be honest. Because if a woman wants to get married, that's really her responsibility. Um, and I say that to say, like, when you're dating with intention. You're letting the men that you're dating know, hey, I'm looking for this. I want to be serious. I have a time limit. You know, if we not getting engaged in a year or two, then I'm going to move on.
You think that's the
So,
majority of women date with intention?
if she wants to be married, like Boss
Okay.
Lady said, everybody doesn't want to be married. Everybody doesn't have to be married. Especially women have their own money now. They can move how they want. They can get married when they want to. But if a woman does want to get married, I do believe she should date with intention, and that should be one of the biggest things. She should be looking for like-minded men who want to get married and start a family and settle down, etc., etc.
Yeah, no,
like it.
100%. That was something me after DP and I had the conversation. I actually posted about it. I asked the men on my Facebook page, did they go out on dates with women? Did they walk around with women? Were they paying for, dinner? Were they spending time with women without intention? And a lot of men said yes, without intentions. A lot of men said yes, that they are. So going back to what you said, Mayette, if they're not intending on getting to an end goal, then it makes sense. Shout out to Ashanta Johnson in here. She says after 17 years, she's still not next of kin. And if anything happens, Lord forbid, the next of kin makes all the decisions. So to that point, Mayette, our little sister, she's actually an insurance agent by day, a super mom by afternoon, and a stylist designer by
Shameless
night.
plug real
All
quick.
of that, man. She can actually plug you in and let you know that you don't have to be married. You can be put on the insurance policy without being wife. Is that right, Mayette?
No, you have to be some sort of you have to have children together or something like that. It has to
Okay,
be
but
a
you don't have to be married though.
relationship. No, you don't have to be married. If y'all have
Okay,
kids,
cool.
then they can be the beneficiary. And you can make whoever you want the beneficiary.
Oh yeah, no, that's what's
Okay,
up.
okay.
That's what's up. Shout out Bianca Green. She says there's not much that there's not that much pressure anymore for other women. Yeah, no. And we're seeing this because, like Dennis said, that construct is telling women, go out, empower yourselves, build your own level of whatever it is that you truly want in life, and you don't need what society tells you need to be happy. Because essentially that's what it was, right? White picket fence, a house, husband, kids running around, a little golden retriever. And now, women like, I want the high rise. I don't want to cut no grass.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with some man stinking feet coming in here, athlete's foot, walking on these marble floors.
But is that kind of like how we were saying last week when someone starts to say that they don't want something because they don't see it in their future anymore?
I don't know that they don't see it in their future. They're just trying to build the future that they want to see.
Okay.
Because there's a difference. Miss Page chimed in. She said 17 years in a relationship is always the choice of the two. There are no right and wrongs. However, for legal benefits, neither of you will receive those because you're not married. And if he or she doesn't list your name on anything, you get absolutely nothing. Now, y'all better get y'all name on them insurance policies, man. Let my little sister go ahead and sign y'all up. Don't let that man trick you into humping on top of you all your life, sis, and you ain't getting nothing should anything go wrong. Put your name on the dotted line so you can get you something. Shanta chimed in again. She said, but you can't make a decision to pull the plug or not. Well, hopefully they stay alive, man. We looking at the grim corners of the possibilities and the realms of things that could possibly happen if you're not married. And let's just say, like you said before, Ashanta, Lord forbid anything happens.
Right.
But you know what? I don't know about staying in the relationship for the long haul, bro, like if we not locked in, because like everybody is saying, like I need to assure you if anything happens to me that the love that I have for you shines through. Now that might just seem like it's a financial thing, but at the same time, like I don't want to leave you high and dry should anything go wrong.
I wonder what that looks like for a couple to be together for 17 years. I don't know any women who don't want to get married. I don't. So, like, what does that look like? Like, at what point does she stop asking?
Well, I don't know, because remember, just like last year, if y'all ladies remember as well, it was like a pastor or something like that of a church. Like he was with his girlfriend for like 30 years, and then he like proposed to her. You know what I'm saying? He proposed to her after so long, and I'm just sitting back looking like, well, hell, y'all been screwing for this long.
And he was like 60,
in the
wasn't
eyes
he?
of God,
He was in his 60s,
he
right?
was in his 60s. Y'all been screwing this long in the eyes of God. Like, why change it now? So, I mean, what you think about that?
And that's what I'm saying. So what was his thought process? Like, you know what? Man, she been holding it down for 40 years. Let's go and do this.
Or maybe he said, let me just make her an honest woman.
So was she not honest before?
He was not ready. He wasn't ready. It's not gonna happen until a man is ready. It's never. You could be the bombest, great pussy, good cooking, loyal,
Let's
fine,
go.
bad
That's the my head I be wanting to talk to. Talk your spit, sis. Hey, and I agree with that 1000%. I just think in a situation where even if this so the joint with the Usher concert, even if it's not 100% like what's really going on, because I think to some degree, we don't know the conversation he and Usher was having. I swear I wish I would have played the video. But he was, Usher goes on to say, man, you got her already. She's yours after 17 years. Nigga, you holding up my motherfucking show. I'm thinking you wanted to propose. I don't think like Boss Lady said, it shouldn't take that long. Men do know, but for the most part, I will say to any women that are listening to this situation or listening to this conversation, you do have to understand, just like Mayette said, 100%, he's not gonna do it till he's ready. And a lot of men wanna. It's not that thing where it's like you're trying to start a business, right? Where you're like, oh, I want to get all my ducks in a row. You just kind of want to be secure in some way or another. You know what I'm saying? So then that way, the bottom of it just don't fall out after a year or 2 years. Because in a lot of situations, people get married for love. What you think, DP? You married for love? Security being one of the highest factors, of course. You know what I mean?
I think men get married out of pressure. I've said this already. I don't know if a man is ever ready to get married.
DP trying to start an argument, y'all.
I don't think men are ever ready to get married. I think we get walked down. I think like you finally can't go anywhere else. Like, how much bigger can I make your birthday? How much bigger can I make Valentine's Day? You get walked down into, man, look, ain't nothing else I can do. We 7 years in. We got 3 kids.
Oh, so you saying this to some degree? It's a level of pressure.
I don't have a choice.
To some degree, it's a level of pressure.
I think it's all pressure.
Damn.
I don't think men ever want to get married.
Boss Lady, can you hear this madness?
On this. So help me understand here, because I've been on some dates. You know what I'm saying? And when I have the conversation of marriage, the first thing they say is, well, so she could take half. Like, what is the goal here? Because my definition of marriage is building my life with you. Not worried about the benefits I'm going to get if something go wrong. So if I'm with
clean.
you and I'm building life with you, why wouldn't you give me that commitment when we committed to everything else? We buying buildings together. We building a business together. We raising kids together. Why wouldn't I get that title as your life partner and get that commitment when we're doing everything in a marriage anyway?
I'll take that.
No sense to me.
I'll take that one. Because your average man and woman relationship, they ain't building nothing but time. So why would I what would I sign my name on some paperwork for when you're giving me everything for the most part that a wife can give me anyway? You cook my meals, you sleep with me, we live together. What is the point of me signing some paperwork that says you get half of my $30,000? That's how I think that's how mediocre men look at it, including me.
Indiana is a non-alimony state. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't get jack if I made over $45,000 per year in a marriage. So when I'm looking and dating for marriage, and I'm like, okay, if we're doing all the marriage stuff, why are we not married? And this is where women bump their heads, because it absolutely makes no sense. Because you sleeping with me, we having kids, we living life together, but I'm not worthy of that commitment, that title, that dedication, because you got to sign some little funky paperwork. Just sign the paperwork, because
you just answered the question though, right? You do know that you just answered the question, right?
And that's the problem.
You did everything first.
So you saying because he didn't require more?
She didn't require more. Like, she gave me everything already.
Yeah.
So what do I need to give you something for? You've already given me everything I can get out of this.
That's clean.
Real.
But why? You gave up your bargaining chips.
I'm gonna say that men who have means, and I'm not a marriage expert. I've never been married, so this is my thoughts and my opinions on the situation. Men who have means and a lot of money, they're not worried about you taking half, because they're already smart. So whatever agreement y'all come up with when y'all get married and y'all take it to the lawyer, he's gonna be safe. He's gonna make sure you're good, but he's gonna keep his assets safe, because he probably doesn't even own most of his assets. He got it in a trust. He got it under his business name. Men who don't have shit, men who don't have money, are the ones who are always worried about you taking half, because really they probably marry you to combine incomes and have a better life.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. 100%,
So,
Mayette.
She cooking right now.
She definitely
that's
cooking.
just how
I
I
agree with
feel.
that.
Yeah, no.
So if a
To
man's
some.
saying, I'm not paying, sitting, signing the paper, baby, you don't make enough money for me, no way. So you ain't got to sign nothing.
Hey, I heard that. Bianca Green says her cousin just got married to his girlfriend after 20 plus years. Hey, man, congratulations to them, man. That's a big deal. Miss Page chimed in. She said it happened to someone close to me. She was with him for 23 years, and he was married before her and never divorced his wife. Though the person of 23 years was on his insurance, the wife got all of his spousal benefits. That's crazy. That is crazy. She said Miss Green says she believed that her and her husband got married for companionship. I think more than likely, Miss Green, finances is like up there, but companionship is like what it is, bro. Like, because like my wife get on my nerves, but she's the only person that I can talk to most times, and she just like listen. I mean, other than DP, but you know my dad. But they men. Like, as men, we need somebody that we can bounce emotional shit off of. Like, you know, when I talk to DP, I'll get ready to say something soft. I'll be like, hey, I'm about to say something soft, dude, chill. He be like, hey, man, go on. When I talk to my wife, I don't have to do that. So that's the benefit of, you know what I'm saying, my marriage. Like, you don't usually give a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, all of the sentimental, the soft things, the softer parts of you. Hillary Banks says I agree with you, Dennis Pittman. Who cares what Dennis thinks? Dominique Pittick says, ladies, get an insurance policy on these niggas if you got their social. You know what? I'm glad you don't have my social security number, little sister. Yolanda, shout out to her. She says, I agree. I think most men get married under pressure. That is clean.
Taurus, what up, my boy?
Nobody's going to argue with that. Not according to Janet Diaz. She said, collect. Hey, go get the money. I keep telling women, man, if a man is going to come into your life and you're giving him all the stuff that DP said, you know, you sleeping with him, you cooking for him, you cleaning his clothes, you doing all the things that the wife can do, get in that bag. Make him pay for it. If not, make him sign on the dotted line and get some money in the end if should anything go wrong.
My little cousin, Miss Green, she said her and her husband married for companionship. That's usually why men get married. And it's usually later in life. Like, once we start slowing down, we can see, like, man, we not who we used to be. Now we start thinking about marriage. I need somebody to take care of me.
Right.
I don't get married in my prime.
That's clean.
I think women are looking to get married in their prime. Men get married once we falling off. We see the end coming. Say my hairline.
And that's why
Hey, we can slow this thing down.
Shut up.
That's
What you say, Mayette?
down now.
Say that one more time, Mayette.
That's exactly why women should marry older.
I agree.
Hmm.
You either marry very early. I think like when two young, like 21-year-olds get married, they don't know anybody sexually but each other. I think those work. And when you have a man and a woman and the woman is the younger, probably by like 7-8 years or so.
Yeah.
I feel like those work as well.
Latasha says she feels as if marriage offers benefits, physical, psychological, and financial well-being. That's super clean.
I like it.
Yeah, because I mean,
like it.
That's what you're looking for. You know, you searching these things out in your partner. You want somebody who can, you know what I'm saying, just be there for you in your time of need, whether it be financial or if I'm going through something. You know what I mean? If we're building together naturally, I'm putting off all of everything that I've been through on you anyway. You're putting off of everything that you've been through on me. So we're building this foundation together up into this beautiful standing thing that you call life.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Like, people will say, like, men will be like, man, yeah, because when I'm going through something, I want to be able to tell my wife and talk. Men don't talk to their wife. If I'm really going through something, that's not who I'm going to first most of the time, especially if it's financial.
Keep going.
I'll call my brother and be like, hey, DA, bro, I got this problem over here before I tell my wife that we got a financial problem. Is that?
Oh, yeah, no,
you see
facts. Yeah. No.
So, like, the companionship of, like, that companionship or that conversationalist that you have in your wife, that isn't as existent as people think. Like, because I'm not going to tell you my real fears. If we in jeopardy of losing this house and you don't look at this paperwork, I'm not gonna tell you.
Right.
We'd have boxes in the living room before you know something was wrong.
Hey, so Miss Ward, is that something that you've experienced before? Dating a man that there were certain things that he kept from you because of his pride, or maybe he was just, afraid to come to you and share that with you?
Yes, and I feel like that's a red flag in a relationship. There should be nothing that you shouldn't be able to talk to your partner about. You know what I'm saying? Like if my man is struggling, I need him to come to me first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would want to know that first. 'Cause that's just the type of woman I am. I can't speak for everybody else. But I feel like that's just a level of communication. And then also women on the flip side have to create that safe environment for a man to be able to come and talk to them and be vulnerable. A lot of us don't do that. And that's very critical, I feel, in a relationship. So
That makes sense. What about you, Maya? Have you ever had a situation where a man didn't come to you about something that was vital to his mental stability?
Can I pass this question?
You sure can.
I just have never been with I've never been in that we live together and if he lost his job,
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't have experience in that.
We'll give you that.
We'll definitely give you a pass. That makes sense said though, DP. But at the same time, like Miss Ward said, when you're in a situation like that, that's when you know it's like, okay, hey bro, you know what I'm saying, I'm down. That's how you know you got that person.
That's a fact.
Like when you can go to them, open up and say, hey, it's bad right now. Like I need you to hold me down. Like until I at least can stand up on one leg and then, taper off. So, that's a big deal. Taurus, we kind of kicked that question last week. We went through that, and there's a couple words in there that I don't know what you're trying to say. So text it to me. We can have a conversation about it.
What up, Cuddy?
Hillary Banks says, my husband and I messed around my sophomore year and his junior year. Double back on each other 10 years ago. Been married 3 years now. Been through a lot. Overcame it all and wouldn't change none of it because it brought us closer.
That's what's up.
Believe that wholeheartedly, Hillary. I can't remember who I was talking to in the conversation we were having, but they were talking about how you don't always have to go through something to get to something. You know what I mean? You can just kind of learn as you go. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that when you have trial and tribulation in situations, especially relationships, long-term ones, that trial and tribulation actually builds you, kind of making it about a sports thing. Like when you get an ACL tear and Dr. Andrews go in and they say, man, your knee is a whole lot stronger than it was before you broke it. I think it's
That's
just the truth.
interesting to me because I feel like after you go through certain struggles, the relationship is weaker.
You think so?
I do. I think infidelity makes the relationship weaker. I think lies. I think poor financial decisions for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Just that lack of trust that you go through. If it's a period where it's happening for any kind of length, a year, 2, 3, or if we have a complete separation where you leave the house, I don't think they're ever the same. I think we just wasting time because we're gonna separate for good eventually, especially when somebody finds somebody else.
But is it really eventual though? Because if it's a situation where you're building, where something traumatic happened, everything falls to shambles, it falls down there, it shatters. You can rebuild that thing, right?
I don't think so.
That's tough. Seta says, she said, man, I've been dealing with my partner for so long, he don't even have to tell me when something is wrong. I can sense it. That might be that real woman's intuition. You know what I'm saying? Because we try to take women's intuition from y'all all the time. You know what I'm saying? But maybe to some degree, Seta just got it, man. Seta just got it. But that was a perfect segue, Dennis, because the next question that I really wanted to ask is...
Taurus, you is hilarious,
What did he do? What did he do? Trial and tribulation don't always build you. I was on a trip, man. Go, man. Hey.
Bro, you
Taurus,
was funny.
chill, man.
Crap,
this is not about your criminal history, folks. Chill. Not that type of trial, goddammit. So the next question that we want to bring to the docket is... Do women choose not to heal by holding on to their past? What do you ladies think?
I love this one.
I kind of say I agree with that to a certain degree because we all have to go through our healing process in order to be able to be completely healed to move forward. But we do not forget, right? Healing and forgetting is two different things. Now, I will
Mm-hmm.
have to say, speaking on my experience, things that I have went through has changed me in a way where I move differently in terms of dating and relationships. So it kind of molded me, it kind of built me, that I have to heal from it. Yeah, in certain situations, I even have to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it took for me to release it, let it go, and heal from it so that I don't take it into the next relationship is what I did. But I also learned from those experiences. And so I apply them to the new relationships and dating experiences that I have.
I like that.
That's super clean. So to that though, say I don't know, let's just say in the relationship that you were in, the whatever one that you can think about, because I know it's only been two, but whatever. Say something happens, right? Y'all go through something, y'all get through it, and then like 10 years later it resurfaces. Is it fair to bring that said thing up from the past and say, well, 10 years ago, this happened, and I'm still feeling the effects of that? You did this to me, or do you just kind of go with the new situation and move on?
I would say no, and let me tell you why. And I'll be totally honest and transparent with y'all on here. I feel like when you're going through stuff or your spouse is going through stuff, especially men, you guys have a lot of pride. You guys don't want to talk about those things or really expose those things, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
do what a man does, right, and you throw it up in his face later, this is why a lot of men don't feel comfortable and vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So then we kind of hit you below the belt because we threw it back in your face. Once the situation is done and I decided to continue to move forward, that's a dead situation. So 10 years
Right.
later, it may be similar, it may be the exact same, but it's a new instance at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where if you let it go, you have to let it go. And I would advocate that women have to be better at that. When men come to us and they have issues, they have problems, and they're being vulnerable, we got to stop throwing it back in their faces because that's why they don't like to do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to say that they're struggling in this area or they feel weak in this area or they feel less than a man in this area. And a good woman, myself, I'm gonna make sure you get yours back up, okay? Because we're not gonna stay in that place. But at the same time, women gotta be better with that. So no, it would once I'm healed, I'll let it go and I decide to stay and work past it, it's done. It's done.
Yeah, for sure. Jenna Diaz says you definitely have to let go to heal. Dominique Pinnick says don't be a bag lady. Is that what that is? That's what Erica Badu was singing about, holding on to your past traumas. Brenda Lachey says, as women, we gonna bring it up. Hey, keep bringing it up. Keep putting yourself in the situation where you gonna keep crying. Mary J. Blige got a song called "Not Gonna Cry." Brenda Lachey, you gonna be listening to that for a while. Dominique also chimed in and said, "Well, if you take a person back, that means you forgave them. That means you have to let go of the past situations and let them go." Hey, Mayette, do women choose not to heal by holding on to their past?
Um, Me personally, I that's not something I wanted to do. I did not want to hold on to my past, but I'm a very emotionally aware person. So
Okay.
I've done like Boss Lady said, I've done the therapy, I've done the counseling. I also had to realize how trauma was coming up in my behavior from past situations that had happened in
Talk
the
then.
relationship. I feel
Talk
like
then.
if you take them back, you need to let it go. Because if not, you're fighting about the same thing. You're making the relationship worse. And you're looking for something from them that you'll never get. So you gotta find that within yourself. And I think that if you're gonna hold on to the pain, you're not good for anybody. Even if you break up with this person, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't want to be with somebody who's still holding on to their past trauma. And so I think this is why I feel like everybody should do therapy. It doesn't even have to be a relationship. It could be you was molested when you were younger, or you had an abusive father, or
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of situations, and people are going into relationships hurt and holding on to a lot of stuff, mistrust, pain. This is why we cannot have good relationships, because we're not taking care of ourselves. So
I like that.
Me as a woman, I think that's the most unfeminine thing to do, holding on to your past, holding on to that trauma. And that's why women need to be by themselves for a little while and really identify, like, what are things that I need to heal, because if I don't heal them, I'm going to mess up anything good that God sends me. So
I knew somebody would walk me into my point. I knew somebody would walk me right in there, and then there goes Maya to throw the lob for me to slam it home. Before I slam this home, everybody in here, please do me a favor and share the broadcast. Also, love the broadcast and tell everybody how great I am. All right. It's so funny to me because I'm looking at the question or whatever, and people, you often hear, especially women, talk about how you have to take time to heal, yada, yada, yada. I think healing is one of the biggest crocs ever. I don't think that there's a such thing. To me, you heal from something once you understand what happened. There's no such thing as needing a healing period, that time in between, nothing. Once you understand your mistakes, you've healed. It's just up to you whether or not you choose to hold on to it or not. You're not damaged still. You want this.
Their mistakes, Dennis. That's the time that you need. That's the self-reflection time.
What I'm saying
if
is,
you're not holding yourself accountable.
No, I think people know exactly what they're doing, is what I'm saying. You're not damaged. You're dumb.
Oh. Get him, Miss Ward.
You're not in a space where you need to be healed. You're in a space where you need to stop being dumb most of the time. You're not lost. You're very much found.
Get him. Get him. Get him. Breathe first. Breathe first, then get him.
I really respect DP bluntness, okay? But for the sake of argument, okay, people need healing whether they lack the incompetence that we think they should have, okay? We go soften this blow a little bit because, yes, we all make unhealthy choices is how I'm gonna put it. We all make unhealthy choices, and so we do need a period to allow ourselves to understand, I agree, the choices that we made. And at that point, yes, you do have to let it go. But to say you're just being straight dumb, we don't really know that until we actually look back and say, I healed from this. I made some mistakes. I didn't make the best decision. Maybe not so much the word dumb, but the best decision in certain situations. And I'm growing, right? Okay. I'm utilizing that knowledge. I know better. I'm going to do better. And you move forward. Okay. That's how we going to put this.
Miss Ward.
And I don't think you understand what healing means. Like, when you need to heal, that usually means you don't have boundaries, you don't have self-respect or self-confidence. There are reasons why you allow people to do what they do to you, and it gets you to a certain point where you call it dumb, but sometimes these are patterns that have been from childhood. If you have a parent that's always verbally, mentally, physically abusing you, and you never had that love or that affirmations poured into you, then when you move on to a relationship, yes, those are the people you're going to choose because that's what you're used to. So how are you going to call somebody dumb who doesn't know any better because they were never taught better? They were never shown by their first parents, the first people who are supposed to love you. And a lot of women, it's with the absent father. So if you don't know what a man's love is supposed to feel like or look like, how are you going to tell somebody they're dumb for choosing wrong? Because then we can turn around and point it at the man and say, well, he's an asshole, or he has some type of issue with him, because why are you treating people like this? Because you can? Well, I'm looking at you like you evil. You're evil because
I would agree to that
why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
I would agree to that as well.
Men who won't take any accountability for their action, and women just are naturally lovers. They naturally want to heal. They naturally want to be there for you. They want to provide for you, and men take so much advantage of it that I think we need to spin the camera and stop talking about how women are so dumb and they don't have any a confident. There's a reason why, and society has really put women down to the ground, and they've had to build themselves up over the centuries. So I think we need to look at that differently, Dennis.
I respect that. I don't agree, but I respect it. I think like one of the words that get overlooked a lot is like self-preservation. It's up to you to take care of you. Nobody is responsible nobody is more responsible for how they treat me than I am. You can't treat me bad if I don't allow you. But I do also understand how you're saying, like, if this is the treatment that you've been getting your whole life, you know, you kind of, once you start finding a man, you find a man who treats you bad. Yada, yada. I get that. I do get that. But you know what hurts. And to do something the same way over and over and expect a different result is the exact definition of insanity. And I think most women are crazy.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to keep bumping my head and hoping that one day it doesn't hurt anymore. To me, you heal once you understand. So once you've healed, if you continue to go to the place that hurts, you want this.
But Dennis, if that's what they looked as, that's what love was modeled to them as.
And you think that they, and I'm asking, not necessarily from a personal place. I'm sure that you've had friends who've gotten hurt before. You think that they honestly don't know that that's not love?
Sometimes
Or do you think that they're in the space? I'm sorry, say that again. I'm sorry.
Sometimes I don't think so. Sometimes I don't think so, because there are things that people put up with that you like, okay, come on, you know that.
Yeah.
But if that's what they were, if somebody smacks you in your head and then be like, I love you, baby, for years, 25 years, 50, that's what love looks like to you. So you can't differentiate what abuse and love is. So yes, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, he called me a bitch, or he been cheating on me 50 million times or whatever, but he says he loves me and I love him, so we love each other. Yes.
It hurts you, so you know that's not love.
But
until she decides,
her point.
Go ahead.
No, because I was going to give the example of abusive relationships, right? So, just for the sake of a scenario here, if my parents were in an abusive relationship, but my dad came home, he paid all the bills, they love each other, but he smacked her up a couple times, and, you know, she said something out of pocket, right? But she loved him, she was still with him, she was still there, and I saw that growing up. You think I'm going to automatically know better that it is not acceptable or right when I watch my parents go through that trauma? And then I turn into, you know, going into an abusive relationship. And he loves me. He pays the bills. He does everything, but he may abuse me from time to time, verbally, physically, or mentally. So, you know, when you see that and you like, well, my parents, they sticked it out. They were together because they loved each other. You know, he may not be 100%, but we love each other. You know, he may make a mistake, but we love each other. We're still here. So that's why I said, like, I understand what you're saying, and you keep doing the same thing. And, you know, you still there. You want to be done. But sometimes people just don't know no better. Your version of love is going to be totally different from somebody else's. So, you know, if my baby daddy jumping on me, but he's still here, I'm not going to think he don't love me because he's still here. You know, in some instances, women do think like that. So I think sometimes it's just a lack of knowledge and women just knowing better to do better and not dumb. Okay?
Yeah, no, and
I don't mean dumb like literally.
I
I don't mean it like in a disrespectful dumb.
But I mean, even in a greater sense of a conversation, that's that influence. We always talk about it. You know what I mean? The dudes who were raised in the hood, you know what I'm saying, raised in the projects, families who've been in the projects for years, and they keep producing project families. That's all they've seen. Nobody has ever told them differently. So I can kind of get, you know what I'm saying, by example, what Mayette is talking about. We see it oftentimes, you know. You say, well, why is you standing in this abusive relationship? You talk to a woman, obviously. That's because you've seen your mother get smacked around. Well, it's not always, you know.
I feel you.
Yeah, you know, women are more abused. I mean, because I was in one, so
they actually say, well, we're not gonna go into that, but they say women hit men more than men.
Oh yeah,
hit
no,
women.
for sure. But
Yeah, so-
you know, men don't complain about it because you know who gonna really listen. But it's definitely an influence conversation, man, when you're dealing with something like this. I want to jump in these comments real quick. Seta says, freedom comes easier when we let go of our need to justify our side of the story. Holding on can block the healing process. Facts. Janet chimed in. She says, having to take control of your past trauma, you have to take control of your past trauma or you will find yourself doing to others what was happening to you.
I like
Man,
that, Janet.
That is super
Janet, that was
clean.
fire. I ain't gonna hold you.
That was fire. Don Dilly, what it do, man? He said 9 out of 10 times they use the term healing for hoeing.
I think a lot of people will take that disrespectful,
Don.
but that is a hard bar to me. I think that is a hard bar.
Don trying
I think
to
a
start
lot
an
of
argument.
people would think that, like, I think they'll take that as so disrespectful, but I believe that.
Hey, man,
I believe that.
you know, it's one of those crazy. It's a fine line, but I get what he's saying. And like you said, somebody on the outside they'll read that comment and be like, "Hey, bro, what you on?" You know what I'm saying? But you see it all the time, bro. Like, oh man, I went through this. What do women often say? I got to go through my whole phase. I'm not blaming anybody for anything, but they'll use what they've been through to get this off their chest. Or but men do it all the time too. So we definitely not being accusatory, putting anything off on women that women don't owe, they're just do. But I don't believe, I usually agree with you a lot of times, man. We have these conversations, DP, but healing is a very funny thing, bro. It's a very funny thing because for us as men, we don't complain about a lot of stuff that we go through. So we'll come out of a relationship feeling like, man, I got done wrong, even in the mature stage, right? You'll say hey, okay, well, I did this. I was the reason for this. I was the reason for that, but I didn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll leave that relationship and get into this one. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see something similar and I won't say anything. That's why I always say people need to come to the table in the beginning. Hey, I'm not for no crazy mess. We was on our way here in the car today coming to Joliet, and I was telling Pint, like, man, I only had one girl who tore up my car. I only ever had one girl who ever scratched my car up, broke my windows out, because after that one situation, and I mean, that puts you in a financial strain.
Right.
Depending on, I was young or whatever,
sure.
but not really. But still, after that, like, you come to the table, hey, bro, listen, we're not finna do this. We're not finna do this hitting thing. We're not finna be calling each other out each other's names. I'm not gonna call you out your name. You respect me, I respect you. Like, we'll just do that. And I think healing comes with that, though, Miss Ward, Miss Lloyd. A lot of times when we're in these situations, healing looks like not allowing ourselves to go through it again. Not necessarily like just being dumb to it, just so I can, for the sake. Okay. Who is that? I think
Somebody
that might be you,
chips.
Maya. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It might not be dumb in the sense of, because I'm ignoring it just so I can have somebody, but it just might be dumb in the sense like, well, man, like I didn't know I was still bothered by this. So, you know what I'm saying? I'll just keep going through it because it's like, this is what my life is. You're not ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? It just comes to that space where you don't know no better. Go ahead.
Spin it to the men. So DA, you and your wife, y'all married for 12 years. For whatever reason, y'all get a divorce. Do you need time to heal?
After a divorce?
If y'all was married for 12 years,
Yeah.
y'all divorced, do you need time to heal?
Well, as a man, I'm just going, depending on what I was able to do in that situation. But I mean, if I feel like I lost, I would take some time. Like, I wouldn't just jump right back into something. But if I didn't feel
So what are you what is the heal? Like, I guess you can't say that. To me, it's just about understanding the situation. I'm in a relationship or whatever. If we break up tomorrow, we've been rocking out for a year, we break up tomorrow or whatever, and we're done. I understood where it went left. I don't need no time to heal. Like, you might see me with somebody a week and a half later, and it wasn't cheating. Like, I get where that went left. Like, I don't put time, like, I don't do that like you need time to heal. You need space. Everything takes time. That's not real healing to me. Those kind of turn into like social constructs that society will put on us. Man, I don't need to heal after I understand what happened, especially if I didn't do anything wrong. Like, if it wasn't something that was a knock on my character, I don't need to heal. I'm good. I understand what I should have did better. I understand where we went left. Once I understand it, I can move on now.
Okay, but go back to what you're saying. That you're using the word understanding. So I was in a relationship before I met Pint. Pint and I were friends. Like, I wasn't spending time with her or nothing like that, like while I was in my relationship, but once that broke up, about 4 months later, Pine and I get into a relationship. I end up talking to my ex like some time later, and she was like, well, the one thing that hurt me was you didn't even give it no time. Like, you just like jumped into this new thing. Yeah, because I didn't do anything wrong in the old thing. But that's in the old thing, and that's from our perspective. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, women do look for closure. They want to know that this isn't just a breakup, that this is something that, you know what I'm saying, that we have the opportunity to rectify, fix, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. And oftentimes for us, we just like, yeah, no, bro, I didn't do anything wrong to cause that breakup. So the fact that you chose to do that, I'm going to give you your space. After I don't hear from you for a while, now I'm no longer checking for you. So now I'm actually over here doing this, going here, hanging out, you know what I'm saying, being around another person. And then when it ends up being a good situation and I'm happy, now I'm going to avoid you. I'm going to stay away from you at all costs because, you know what I'm saying, that's where my happiness is. So for you in the situation in which you're speaking of, you're talking about because you understand. You understand. A lot of times women don't understand. Well, I'm not saying women
well,
don't.
I just mean it from a personal space. Like even if it was flipped around and now Pint is the person who feels like she doesn't need time to heal from anything. Well, she understands what happens. We separated or whatever. She feels whole in herself. Why do people feel like there's a time space needed to heal? Like, even like if my spouse died, me and Deja get married, we married for 5 years, she dies. 2 months later, I'm dating somebody. Everybody be like, that's so disrespectful. Dude, what do you want me to do? Like, why is there a social time struck put like that I'm supposed to do things on a time limit?
Yeah.
Why is it like, oh, you're supposed to be hurt for this long? You couldn't have healed from this. You guys were supposed to be so happy for 5 years.
I get what you're saying.
No, bro. She's not coming back, and I get it. Yeah. I love her to death.
But you just saying, are you just ready to move forward?
I'll never be over her, but I can't do anything about the past.
Right.
So now life goes on, but we know that society says, because I know if we was married for 5 years, I know that I couldn't jump in a relationship 2 months later because I would offend so many people who love her.
Yeah.
But why?
But would you have wanted to, Dennis? Is that what you have wanted? That's normal to you to be married to somebody for 5 years and they die and then you get in another relationship 2 months later?
I don't know what I would do. But
it's
even
so
the same way,
because there's this lady named Shira, and she used to work at a funeral home, and she said when husbands would come in to their wives' funeral, they could have been married for 25 years. They usually coming in with the mistress. They coming in with their next wife. They coming in with their girlfriends. And this is, it's like men are not capable of deep love. Like, y'all can get over it so quickly. Like, did you really even love this woman? Me, if I was married to a man for 5 years and he died, I'm mourning. I'm crying. I'm upset. I gotta learn how to live without him again. Like, he probably would become my other half. We wake up together. We have talk through the day. We eat together. We go on vacations together. Like, this is my person. And then all of a sudden, he's just gone. You know, like, I could not get in another relationship to another man because I would just be so missing my ex-husband for so long. And that is so funny because that is exactly what she said. Like, y'all are ready to move on in a heartbeat, and y'all usually have our replacement as a best friend, as a friend at work, as a co-worker, whatever. Y'all got somebody.
I don't know why that's so
funny. I wasn't with her, I would be with her. Crazy.
So does that mean, and this so funny because you get into like a loyalty type of conversation. So that means that the husband didn't love the wife because he moved on faster?
Y'all just don't. Y'all are just not, and I don't want to say y'all because there are some.
No, I know what you mean.
Who also die when their wives have a broken heart, but most men don't love that deep. No, they don't, and that's just the natural truth of the matter.
Me and you are real friends, so we know how I feel about. Most people don't love nothing, men and women. How many women do you know who said they were in love with a person, and then when they broke up, they was like, man, I really didn't love them as I, once time passed, I realized I didn't even love that person. I don't know a woman who hasn't said that to me about somebody. Love is a space of time most of the time. While we rocking tough, you so in love. When I finally do something that steps outside of your construct of loyalty, man, that junk is gone. Or once my value declines enough, it's gone. While I'm providing whatever it is that you need, that you consider valuable, now you love me. So I don't even really believe in love the same way other people do. You have to have value. As long as I have value, you'll give me everything that I need, love, loyalty, all that other stuff that people go for. But everything is just about having value.
That's scary.
My heart
That's
just
scary.
broke.
I mean, I get it because I've heard you say it so many times that it's 100% understandable. Man, I can't believe I'm fucking growing up, bro. Like I'm telling you, like I can't make this shit up, bro. Pine and I, we at home, we having this conversation. I'm trying not to be weird right now. We having this conversation. I don't know what we watching, or we having a conversation, but then we're watching something that pertains to, one of us dying. So now we're having this conversation. We're having the if you die, if I die conversation. And I don't know, bro. I'm just not. Hey, bro, and I swear to God, bro, I'm not trying to do that one thing. If y'all know me, y'all know me, whatever the fuck. But it's just like, bro, I'm in that space now. Like my life is good where it's at. Mm-hmm. So if this nigga go away, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like every time I look at these kids, like even when she's gone, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm at home a whole lot more now. We, you know what I'm saying, doing things from home together. When she's gone, bro, like, and I be with the kids, I be like, whoo, I can't wait till y'all mom come home. You know what I'm saying? Because soon as mom comes home, I can act like Pint getting on my nerves, but I'm glad she's in the other room. Because, like, when she not there, bro, I can't just go in there and be like, hey, Pint, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And a lot of times I'll forget about whatever I was thinking about when she was gone. I'd be like, man, if this would have been here, you know what I'm saying? I would have remembered what I want to say to you. And so I think I don't want to call it maturity, bro. Because I respect you a great deal. But I think after a while it'll just sit on you, bro. Like after you've, you know what I'm saying? You just consider losing somebody. Like that was my biggest thing for the last 20 some odd years. Nigga, I never was afraid of losing nobody. Man, shit, if you go, you go. I'm telling you, like my situation before I got with Pint was just that. Like you left, I didn't talk to you for 2 weeks. By that fourth week, I've had a month without us having a conversation. Now you're gone out of my mind. You're gone out of my life. Like I can go jump in any bed that I want at this point to get whatever, physical pleasure that I'm looking for. But that's just not it. Like you like having that person. My ex spoke to having that person. Like when that person gone, bro, like it's just like super weird. I can't say that I wouldn't move on. I can't say that what amount of time it would take me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that. But I do feel you.
I feel you too. I just don't think that me moving on is an indication of how I felt about the person I moved away from. And I didn't move away. You passed in this example.
Yeah.
I'm not. That doesn't mean I don't love you.
Yeah.
But my life goes on. I don't want you to. If I die, if me and Deja was married for 5 years and I died, I don't want Deja to stay stuck crying over me.
Yeah, no. I would hope that she wouldn't. Miss Ward, what would you say would be a proper time? And obviously, you can't put a frame over time because healing is like this super weird thing, regardless if it's a breakup or, you know what I'm saying, a death. But, I mean, me personally, I don't deal with death well. So if somebody died, my wife's sitting here now talking about you better mourn me till you join me. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell the kids, if this door locked, don't come knocking on this damn door. You know what I'm saying? But as a woman, Miss Ward, if you were to lose your significant other or a breakup or a divorce or death, how long do you think that it would take you initially to move on?
It would take me a while. Like, honestly, after my last relationship in 2014, it took me a while to date. because I really genuinely like love that person. And still do. I just gotta love that person from a distance with, boundaries and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But um you can't give yourself a time frame on
Mm-hmm.
that because it depends on how the person feels about that person and even about moving forward. It gets easier, but grief doesn't always go away. So I feel like, it's to each person. For me, it took a long time because it was like the death of a relationship.
I can
So,
feel that. That's clean.
Yeah, that was very clean.
That's super clean.
but that's when
She
you
just
really
relived that. I seen it
She
all in her
definitely.
face.
It was like I took
Hey,
it away
man.
because I thought you was finna cry. You was blinking. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was finna.
PP got me a little emotional. And I did kind of, it started dripping. The waterworks did. I'm like, dang, like,
Boss lady.
nobody ever loved you to make you understand what love really is. Because it's like, wow, for a person, and I've heard DP say that a few times. Like, wow, to say you feel like love comes with conditions and it has a value. I can't really say that that's really love. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Society has
Which is what
shown
he's
us that's how it
basically
goes.
saying,
Most
Well,
marriages end in
I
divorce.
bring to the point about men getting married for companionship. That's when you found your best friend. I think
Mhm.
that's when you should get married. When you have found that person who completes you. And so when that type of person passes, that's when the hurt is deep.
I
Like
like
if
that.
I like that too.
you
That was
got
fire.
married for pressure, then yeah, like okay. I mean, I've been in a situation where we was together for a while, and once we broke up, I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm on to the next. But I know there's another situation that if that did happen, I would be hurt for a long time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
My thing
Hey,
is
DP, have you ever been in love before?
now.
Before this?
Yeah, but I didn't think that we were gonna be together either. So it was a little bit different. But why this is, and that's what I be talking about. When people do that one love, loyal, all that kind of stuff. I was in love before, and now it's like, so where did that love go? So was that love real?
Oh, you saying because it went away?
Yeah,
After
so-
the relationship ended so long or whatever.
Or did it go away?
Right. Maybe it never goes away.
And that's what I mean. So like you'll have these women do that one thing like, oh well, I was just so in love and it took so long to heal and move on. So once you healed and move on, are you still in love with this person?
That's a good question.
If you was really in love, you never fall out of love, right? Is that right? I'm asking.
I don't agree with that statement because I may be in love with you, and a part of that love is loving you. So I may stop being in love with you, but still love you from a distance and respect your boundaries and just respect it what it is. I'll still come to your funeral,
I don't think it's a such thing as I think once you really love somebody, you never fall out of love.
She said, I still come to your
No,
funeral.
I'm sitting on the seat. Amen. Okay, I'm on attendance here because I loved you, and they still love you. But at some point, your life have to go on. You can't be stuck in love with somebody that don't love you back. So how do you keep being in love with somebody that doesn't display that same affection, love?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, wait. Okay, so look, I got a perfect segue question that we didn't even have up, but let me get to this real quick. Seta says it's been 17 years. I'm 35. That's half my life. I think it would be so hard to take a. I think it would be so hard, and it would take a while for her to move on.
I feel that.
That's super clean, especially when you spend half your life with somebody. Miss
Yeah, that's
Page
tough.
chimed in. She says, moving on is actually healthy. Numbers show that people who lost a spouse will typically goes into psychosis depression, where they start talking to and seeing their spouse. Healing and moving on will allow you to heal. Damn.
I like that, Miss Page.
Pink, if you die and you start talking to me, I'm burning the fucking house down. I'm letting you know right now. Hey, so listen. So I know we talking about love and healing and death and all of that, but I saw this a couple weeks ago and I thought it was super interesting. I want to know what you all think. You're in love with the person.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all love each other.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever reason it doesn't work out, you break up. Right? You break up, but you love them deeply. Mayette, Miss Ward, I can't wait to hear what y'all say. You love them deeply, but y'all move on from each other. You get in another relationship. Now your love is over here. That ex dies. How long are you able to mourn, or how long
I love DA.
How
You be
long-
doing your thing. I
how
can't wait to hear
long
them answer this.
are you able to mourn your ex while you're in a new relationship? Who won it? Rock, paper, scissors.
Can I throw a part B on there too?
Please.
And if your spouse is the person mourning his ex, are you mad?
I feel like y'all be trying to create some traps to,
No,
I'm gonna
saw
answer
this.
it too, though. I'm gonna answer it
They
too.
don't. Listen, if I was in love with someone and we broke up and we were no longer together, there's something called attachment. And as time goes on and you start having relations with your new person and creating new memories with your new person, that love starts to diminish. That doesn't mean you don't love them as a friend, or still have warm feelings towards them, especially if the relationship didn't end on a bad note. But I'm not checking for you like I used to. You're not fulfilling my needs like you used to. So if you pass away, I'm gonna mourn that I've shared time and memories and emotions with this person, but never to the extreme where I'm be crying on the floor in the bathroom,
Right.
can't
I
go
like
to
that.
work. Why would I do that to myself? You talked about self-preservation. Why would I do that to the man that's living and providing for my needs, and we're creating a new future, because that old stuff, it was never going to work anyway. So I
Right.
don't have that attachment anymore. And I think that people really kind of overlook that there's a scientific bonding between men and women to even make them fall in love. It is it is the stuff that I don't know the name, but I know that women release something when they have sex with a man, and men release vasopressin, I think, when they take
Dopamine.
care of a woman and they do for a woman and they invest in her. What?
It's called dopamine.
Dopamine, but it's vasopressin for me. It's something like that. It's something like
Yeah.
that. And so there's a chemical bonding, and it's a scientific thing to fall in love.
Okay, so
And
then
I like that,
after
Maya.
7 years, if you all are not consistently having sex and doing all this anymore, that's when most divorces happen, because they don't have that chemical connection anymore. So no, I'm not gonna be grieving for a long time if I ain't even been doing nothing with this person, and it doesn't make any logical sense.
If
If
you-
you are, you need some help.
No, you don't need no help. Y'all ain't never loved nobody,
Yes,
bro.
we
That's
do.
all I can say. That is all I can say. Y'all ain't never loved nobody, bro.
Boss lady, what you think? If your ex died, will you mourn him, or is your man allowed to mourn his ex upon their passing?
So I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. It depends on how the relationship ended for me. Like if I was loving the hell out of you and you was dogging
That's
me
clean.
out,
She
I might
telling
be
the
happy
truth.
that you did. You know what I'm saying? It may not be no mourning for me. It may be some hallelujah God did his time for me. To be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So depending on how the relationship ended and how he treated me during the relationship is going to determine if I'm going to mourn or celebrate. Number one. Now, if it is a situation where, it was mutual agreement and, I still had a little love there, I would reflect, okay, and mourn, but not to the point, like she said, where I'm crying on the floor, about to fall out and die, he's
Convulsing.
gone, I didn't say my last goodbye. It ain't like that for Boss Lady, okay? We're not doing it. Now, if my boo, on the other hand, Chris said Michelle, whoever she is, fell out and died, and he's mourning, I will give him time because people have built their life with other people before me, and that's just
I
what
love
it
that.
is.
That's what's up.
So I will give him
Absolutely not.
time to reflect and mourn, but it won't be. You got about 24
Maya
48
said
hours,
absolutely
and
not.
we're going to move forward. Okay, that's how we're going to do it over here.
Get her, Maya.
I don't. If my man is crying or upset about another, you need to go get in the casket with her. We're done. I don't want to see that. I don't want. You think I will pop this pussy for you and you crying for the last one? Oh my God, absolutely not. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. We can go to the funeral to pay respects as a couple, and then we're going to leave and get a hamburger and some french fries and maybe go to the movies. I'm not.
This nigga said, get a hamburger and some french fries. Hillary Banks chimed in. She said, y'all, my husband just said, you ain't finna cry on my motherfucking shoulder about your ex, and you ain't going to no damn funeral. Man, that's tough. Kiara Smith, shout out to you. She says, that's where the boundaries come in. You are allowed to grieve. Seta chimed in. She said, I will always love my husband, together or not. My new person needs to allow me to mourn, and he needs to understand. There's that word, man, understanding. You have to be able to understand what's going on, to understand what they're going through.
How you feel about that, bro?
Decent G said, you can't go to no funeral. Listen, I don't deal with that at all. I talk to God all the time. When I talk to God, I'll be like, man, just don't kill my mom and my daddy and my granny, because I'm fall out with my siblings, bro. I don't go to funerals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't go to funerals at all. So I wouldn't, and I'm with Mayette, bro. Like, once a certain amount of time has passed and we haven't had any dealings, I'm gonna just be like, damn, that happened to you? Like, for real? Like, that's crazy. Like, she deader than the motherfucking. Just keep it pushing. But that's just me, though. Like, I don't think that death is like something that people should hang their life on. Like, it's just not, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my mama, my daddy, and my granny still living. So,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God forbid I lose one of my, man. See? Now y'all I be tweaking, bro. Like, you be watching them damn movies on TV and somebody lose a kid and it hit you. You get to looking around to see who at the house with you, or you in there crying like you done lost the kid. Man, listen. Now, if it's one of my kids, whatever. But I don't deal with death, bro. Like, like, it doesn't affect me how it, you know what I mean? My grandfather died when I was like 7. And my grandmother took me to the funeral. It was the worst fucking thing I've ever experienced in my life. I couldn't even explain it to anyone if I tried to. So since then, I'll go. I'll stand outside. You know, we'll do, what is it called? We'll congregate together outside. And, you know what I'm saying? I'll show my respect, but I can't see nobody dying. So, you know, if you go, you go. Peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not mourning anything. Have you ever, what you think?
Bro.
You gonna be crying? Snotting at the nose, bro?
Bro.
Damn, you soft, man.
Y'all crazy in the mug, dude. Hey, look, man, if people ain't never loved nobody before, man, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I'm okay.
And then, like, if you spin it, let's spin it first, because that's what everybody be wanting to know. So, like, let's do that. No, I mean, because this somebody else's business, but I tell it because she ain't watching this. If the woman I love, kid's father died, you've been around this person from 7th grade until you was 28, 29. Man, you think she don't care? I'm not that naive. I'm not that selfish to be like, now what I would say is, hey, go do that over there, bro. We got a little money. Go get, if you need to go take you 2 or 3 days, man, go do that. You're not finna cry in here like Hillary said, you know. Mm-hmm. You're not finna cry in here, but hey, I know you need those 2 or 3 days, because you're not just crying for your children. Man, y'all have memories, bro.
Yeah, Maya said that.
Just like, and I'm not going to the funeral with her either. Man, go do that. Whatever you got to do there, go do that.
Yeah.
Y'all got a past that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like, if I love somebody, bro, hey, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna need 2 or 3 days, but there is going to be a point where that hits me. Like, dang.
But why though? Like, why would, like,
because that's real love. I really lost this person that once upon a time I would. Matter of fact, man, look, I ain't gonna go there. You're not finna tell me somebody that you rocked with for real can get in a serious jam and you don't look to save them. You know, the only reason you don't is because you don't know about it. I never hear from you anymore.
Yeah.
But if I seen this person in the store, or we at Walmart and somebody beating on her top, you think I'm finna just let her get her top beat on? That's not how that works.
Right.
If that's just not how it goes. And like, a lot of people will be able to hide it under the, man, well, that's my kid's father, that's why I started helping him. No, bro. You still care about this person to a certain degree. You was around them for a big portion of your life, and y'all did, you know, you might have had your first career, whatever it may have been.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, and a lot of times when people like don't want to let somebody have that moment, Man, that's because you're so selfish. Well, I'm not gonna say you. To me, that feels like a selfish and an insecure moment. You don't even want that person to feel feelings for a person that's dead. Hey, man, I gotta let you have that, bro. You need that moment to grieve that.
Nobody said don't have feelings. Just don't be extreme with it. How am
Extreme.
I supposed to
How can you
feel?
tell me how to grieve?
How am I supposed to feel? So my man is laid up in bed, can't go to work, can't eat because his ex died, and I'm supposed to be cool with that? No, you should have unattached yourself. That's an attachment. That's why it's attachment. You should have unattached yourself from that relationship. You have to let the past be the past.
I'm gone from the relationship, but I still got feelings for the person.
You still got.
I know that person's life.
That's what you got.
I know that person's life. I know their kids. I know their parents. I know their siblings. People hurt for that person.
I can see it both ways. I can honestly see this from both perspectives.
I can see it both ways. I recently had an encounter with someone that, wanted to apologize for his wrongdoing because so many people were leaving Earth, and it was like I didn't want to leave, not knowing I, could have had the opportunity to come back and apologize to you about some things that I done or should have done better in a relationship, right? And that person has definitely moved on. However, sometimes people need to right their wrongs. And when they miss their opportunity to right their wrongs or even just apologize, you know what I'm saying? It does cause a little bit, I feel like a heavier grief because it's like, dang, I had the opportunity to do this, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people grieve from that aspect, not so much, oh my God, like I love this person to death, now they gone, but I wasn't with them for the last 20 years. From a standpoint of, I know I dogged her out, I know I did it wrong, and I could have went back and apologized. Now that opportunity is no longer here. So I think the intent of the purpose of why you're grieving is really important. And I think we kind of miss that factor because it's like, oh, this is your ex. But this could have been an ex that was there when your mama died. This could have been an ex that held you down to got you to where you need to be. So I do feel like it is a bit of insecurity when you don't allow a person to grieve for somebody that had an impact in their life, whether it was good or bad. That's not my place to tell you as a woman. I'm secure enough to know that you need your time. I'm going to give you your time. It may not be a long time. I'm not going to give you a long time, but I still want you to process your emotions.
It better not be a long time.
Do you feel like they got to express to you why they're hurt?
No, I think that's personal.
I don't think so either.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect that. I'm woman enough to understand we all go through things and people impact our life. This is a journey. So people are going to come and go. Like I told Buddy the other day, you was in my life for a lesson or a blessing, one of the two. You know what I'm saying? It's however I perceived it at that time. But I'm not going to expect him to be like, well, why you crying or why why it impacts you so much, because that was a part of your journey before me. So whatever was before me, I'm going to let you have that, you know what I'm saying, in that aspect. I'm going to respect that as a woman. But if you doing all that boohoo crying, can't eat for 30 days, we're going to have a conversation or go get you some help at a mental institution because something's not right. But I also feel like I'm woman enough and secure enough in myself to allow my man to go through his process and he'll be back home. So I ain't worried about it.
I don't know. It all makes sense. I can see it both ways. You know what I'm saying? Through the love goggle and also through the, hey man, you got a couple days. You know what I'm saying? Take that, get on about the way, but I don't want to hear nothing after that. Because I'm like how Mayette said, bro, if you still can't eat, can't sleep, you going through this, like blah 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 blah, bro, you was still there, bro. You weren't here. You definitely weren't here. But I mean, everything has a timetable. That's all I'm going to say. Everything has a timetable, and it is what it is. I kind of threw a caveat in there. Y'all got to forgive me, but let's get to this one. Why do women sacrifice their happiness for love? This is a very sensitive topic. I understand. I asked my wife, she believes that women do it. So I would like to ask the ladies, why do y'all do it? To any women that are in here, you chiming into this, please, for all intents and purposes, chime in and let us know, why do you all sacrifice your happiness for love?
And if you're in here, do us a favor and like and share this broadcast. We appreciate you.
Definitely. Who wants it?
I'll go first because I feel like there is no love without sacrifice. So So at the end of the day, I mean, even if we want to take it to biblical terms, and I don't know who are religious watching them live, but if y'all, agree with me or disagree with me, there is no love without sacrifice. That's sacrificial. God gave his only begotten son for those who do believe. He gave his only one. That was out of love, that was sacrifice. So how can I think that's why a lot of women do it. We sacrifice a whole lot being moms and our careers and things like that. It's natural to a woman to sacrifice their happiness. I don't always agree that in certain scenarios it's right. I feel like relationships be a common ground and equally make sacrifices. But I think it's really natural to make sacrifices, what I'm saying, to love. If you really love somebody, what I'm saying, I'll put myself on a back burner to make the other person happy because his happiness is important to me. So I'm willing to take the hit and take the sacrifice. Now I'm not gonna sacrifice no poly
That's clean.
relationship. There's some things I'm not going to sacrifice, but within reach of the relationship, that's why we do it, because we want the relationship to work. And I think that's a problem. We want men to do all the sacrifice, and a lot of women don't want to sacrifice, and it's not fair. So I just feel like there is no love without sacrifice, period.
What you
I
got,
like
Mayette?
that.
I
Do you
feel
think
like
do you think women
this
sacrifice their happiness for love?
this question is very vague. Like, can you elaborate? Was there a situation? I'm sorry. I just feel like it's very. Why do they sacrifice their happiness for love? Like,
Well, no, that's I'm saying. Why do they? I mean, women give up their careers, women give up their hopes, their dreams, admirations for family, for their children. They play the back burner to their husbands. My wife is watching some show called
Insecure.
no, I can't even think what the show. I'm done watching that. Like I'm as a matter of fact, I'm done watching The Walking Dead too. It's something fuck. Anyway, there's a dentist. She's a dentist. Her husband was a dentist. She wanted a career, he wanted a family.
Okay.
She wasn't willing to compromise. They live like in Mississippi or something like that.
Married to Medicine.
No, it's not that. It's on Oprah Winfrey channel.
That is.
No, I just looked it up, bro.
Oh, okay.
Like I looked it up, and it's not because remember that's what my head said. But he
Bell
wanted
Collective.
something like that. He wanted a family. She wanted her business, so she opened up a dentist. She opened up a dentist office, and it's a mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, for HBCU kids out of Mississippi. Super dope. But she was afraid to have children with a white man. Her husband was white. She was afraid to have a white husband and bring children in the world, biracial children living in Mississippi, because she believes that it's way more racially intense now than it was back in the day. Like, so she didn't sacrifice anything. She was like, hey man, after a certain amount of years, they just went their own separate ways. And then it was like some clip I was looking at, she was buying a car and that was her like divorced Porsche. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, why do women sacrifice their happiness for love? It's like I don't understand. Like, why put aside what you want, what you desire, what you hope for, dream for? You know what I mean? For what society tells you should go and get, and that's a husband and a family.
I think, like how Boss Lady had mentioned earlier, we're at a time where women aren't doing that anymore. So maybe for my age, this question is a bit like, because we don't do that. We don't have to stay with anybody for kids, money, or anything. I'm a type of person who has left. And I had a daughter, but I knew I wasn't going to be happy with this person, so I just moved on.
Yeah.
And that's why the dentist lady did what she did. And there's a lot more of that. And divorce is so high because women are not sacrificing their happiness anymore for love. I think women who do that, it's more from a space of desperation. They need someone to provide. They don't have anything. They can't take care of themselves. They can't take care of their children. And they know if they walk away from this relationship, their children will be in a much worse situation, or themselves will be in a much worse situation. But I just don't think women are doing this anymore.
Me and Mayette agree 95% of the time. We was missing all night, but we finally together. I agree with her 100%. We finally got there. I don't think women sacrifice their happiness for love. Not now. Not at all.
Diana Gonzalez says we sacrifice everything for nothing in return. What say you to that?
I think that's that fake loyalty once again.
Big Sybil says who? When you realize the sacrifices were for nothing or you fall short, you learn to just focus on what makes you happy. That's super
like
clean. Hillary Banks chimed in. She said, this era, we can't really answer that. It's so funny because we say that, but the situations like the dentist, they're so few and far between, bro. I really do. I really do believe women do. And it's not just for family. But I think a lot of women sacrifice their happiness just for the sake of saying that they're in love. Because look at the people who stay in relationships where they're being physically abused, being emotionally abused, being, mentally abused or whatever the case may be, and you're staying there. It takes you to build up all of this. Oh, I'm finally fucking over it before I leave. And it's just like, man, you've wasted 5, 6, 10, 15 years of your life where you could have been living and being happy just for this situation. But I don't know what that is, and that's why I really wanted to ask.
Look at the demographic of women who do that. Those women usually are not college educated, nor do they have a trade. They're not able to take care of themselves. They probably saw that being modeled in their parents' relationship. And so that's really the only time I'm seeing that happen. Or when a woman has children and she's not economically ready to take care of them herself. I just don't see that happening anymore. And maybe that's why this question was hard for me to answer, because women are choosing independence way more.
So what say you then to the conditioning? Because you spoke to conditioning earlier. What if you saw your mom stay in a relationship that she wasn't happy with? Yes, you did decide to go off to college and create industry for yourself, but this is something that you've seen over time and you've seen your father manipulate the situation. You don't think that you could fall into that same trap that your mother did? Hypothetically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But usually when women do go to college, they are introduced to domestic violence, what that is. They have a counselor on campus. And I just think the numbers are way smaller. That's what's up.
That's clean. That's clean.
So, I will say this. A lot of women sacrifice their happiness because they don't want to be out here single. You know what I'm saying? And that's to be honest with you. When it comes to black men and black women ratio, we are so outnumbered, right? I don't want to spend a block, right? So I might want to just sacrifice and take a little bit more, within reach, right? For the sake of the relationship, to make the relationship work, because that's ultimately what women really want, is to be in a happy, stable, longevity type relationship. So a lot of times we will take sacrifices on some things when it comes to career, especially if a man is leading properly. Okay. So if he's leading properly, that is a major factor, because you can have a career, you can have a degree, you can have your education, and if you make a sacrifice and it don't work, you will always bounce back. That's what we do. So I don't think taking that hit means that it has anything to do with, who you are individually or how you feel about yourself. I think you just hold your relationship at a higher value. And so you're willing to make those sacrifices, within reach and reason, to each his own, because Boss Lady will make some sacrifices. I'm not doing everything, to make the relationship work, because I'd rather work it out with you than to go back out here and start over. And that's the reason why women have been labeled as hoes and their hoeing season, because a lot of times it's just like, oh, I don't need you, I ain't gotta make that sacrifice. It's an attitude thing, and not being more so independent, not codependent. I don't know why Boosie, I had to have a revelation about Boosie's song INDEPENDENT. That's the problem. We are so independent, which is why we're not really pursued as much. I want to be independent, okay? I want to be on somebody's taxes, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? For me to make a sacrifice to be on somebody's taxes as dependent, I'm going to do it. Okay, because I would rather do that than honestly be out here taking care of myself, trying to say I'm INDEPENDENT or whatever it is, because I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why women are willing to take the hit and sacrifice. You want kids, you want me cooking, you want this. If you're leading properly, women have no problem doing it because, baby, we will bounce back.
That's super
I
I
like
clean.
agree
it.
with her.
You agree with that, Mayette?
I do. I 100% agree with her.
That's what's up.
Everything she said
Yeah.
it's very true, especially as a black woman. I just don't feel like black women have the same dating experience and relationship possibilities as women of other races. And we usually do want to stay with the black man. So we will take more than we should because we
Hmm.
want to be with you, especially when we have children. Oh my God. Like, you want to raise your child with the person you had a child with. All this baby mama stuff is not our doing. This is the men's doing. We know how to go to counseling. We know how to sit down and have a conversation. We know how we rather work things out and compromise than leave. We really do. So I totally agree with her in that
You
aspect that
compromising out of
that's
order
why
though.
huh?
The compromise was out of order though.
What do you mean?
You got to get the you want to be in a space where you get, and of course this is not my life either, but you want to be in a space where you're married before you have children. And like this is what
Absolutely,
I
but
would.
I mean that's not taught to us. Dennis, a lot of women are not taught to get married first and then have babies.
I like
That's
that.
true.
I like
That's true.
that. I
That is
like
very
that.
true.
I like that.
That is very true.
You was on time with that one, my head. He
Because
tried to bury you.
I'm teaching my children now. It's a curse. It's a curse we got to get rid of. But look at the generations of Papa was a Rolling Stone. All of our culture is dedicated to men being players, having as many women as possible. If you have
Mm-hmm.
several babies, whatever. Look at Nick Cannon. Like, the fact that nobody made a bigger deal about what he's doing is sick. It's like y'all don't care about raising a child and family. African American people really don't put a lot of value on the proper family. We value family as far as loyalty, but that means like we let the uncle who a pedophile come to the cookout still after he done molested all the girls. We don't look at it
Mm.
like, you know what, I have a child. I have a child with this woman in this house. My money needs to go to this house. My time needs to go to raising this child to be the best version of themselves so we can continue this legacy because men are very selfish.
Talk to
Very
him.
selfish creatures. And so it's just
Talk
like
to him.
stop putting that on us. That if you're asking that is why women sacrifice their happiness. They'll put everything to the side for the family, and men will put nothing until they're at the nursing home by themselves. And I put this comment in Shade Room, and it got thousands and thousands of likes because it was like, who is that? It's he just had a divorce from Bambi. He was with
Little
Erica
Scrappy.
Badu.
Scrappy. Little
Scrappy.
Scrappy.
Scrappy. Scrappy. Yes. And he at the club and he's like, y'all, I forgot I was single. So y'all gotta remind me I'm single. Look at your old ass, almost, I don't know how old, 45, in the industry. Don't nobody buy your music. And I love Scrappy. I love Scrappy. But he has let his mother and his ego destroy his families. He has two families and he has children. And he never thought, let me go take the time for myself. Let me think, what do I need to heal? What is in these streets? Nothing. Cause your homeboy is gonna be in the streets and then they're gonna go home to their wives. And you're gonna go home to several other women who just wanna be with you for the little bit of fame you have from Love and Hip Hop. Men just don't think. They don't care about family. Y'all are selfish. Y'all got to stop asking us these questions. Y'all need to you need to make a podcast and really school men on how to get their lives together because they're destroying the culture. They're destroying black families. They really are. And that's why women are moving over to marry men of other cultures. And then y'all be like, oh, well, we going to be passport bros. Again, not focusing
That's what it's
on the
called.
solution.
Passport bros.
passport
Well,
bros. That's what, not focusing on the
Yeah,
solution.
we're not gonna talk
I'm
about it
sure
right
it's
now.
people in the men in the comments like, oh well, when black women are hoes. Why is that y'all favorite thing to say about us? That we're hoes. Why is that y'all favorite thing to say about us?
I don't say that. I
But
don't
we
say that
want
at
to be
all.
with men. We want to be with one man, Dennis. You have the question here, why do women sacrifice their happiness? We want to be with one man. It is not until y'all force us out and have beaten and bruised our feelings and our emotions that we have to move on to the next man. Especially when we have children. Like, DA, why you bring me on this podcast?
Because I wanted you to express yourself in that manner. It's so crazy because what you just got off your chest was very real. I won't even combat it. I'll let you have it.
Hey, she just cooked too.
She definitely just cooked, but there's always a caveat to every conversation. But I'll let that sit because this was the woman's show. A lot of times when we shoot these podcasts, man, a lot of people don't understand that it's coming from a male perspective because this is my platform and it's my perspective, as well as my brother's that sits on the couch right across from me. We go through these things because we can only speak to it from how we see it. But there are times when you actually need to bring women in and give them their just due. So when we have these questions, why do you call women hoes, or why do women sacrifice their happiness, or, do they feel pressured to be married? We as men can't answer these questions oftentimes. So to have two women that I have a great amount of respect for, and I respect the things that they say, I respect the way that they live, we bring them on so they can speak in the way that they have all night, in a very candid light, with no judgment, with no prosecution, with only reciprocity from us trying to get an understanding of what women want, because oftentimes we hear the great old saying that this is a man's world. But like James Brown said, it wouldn't be nothing without a woman. So that said, Mayette, Miss Ward, I appreciate y'all coming to me in the twilight, man. We really, really loved everything that you guys had to say on every aspect, on every part of this conversation. I appreciate the both of you dearly. DP, what you got going out, man?
Hey, fire show tonight. I appreciate you both, ladies. Thank you for coming through for us. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Boss lady, what you got for him?
I just want to let you know that you guys are doing an amazing job. What y'all did not know when DA was acquiring his 1,000 followers, I actually boosted this a clip of the show on TikTok, and it got over 7,000 views. So I hope that
That's dope.
Shout
it
out to you.
contributed to the success to you guys. So just know I will be doing that again. So be on the lookout for new
I don't want
followers.
to cry.
I will support you guys in any way. You know that.
I appreciate you, boss lady. And hey, everybody, boss lady is the reason why we have the dope opening that we have. Her son is the king of graphics. So if you need anything business related as it pertains to graphics or anything of that nature, boss lady, how can they reach out and grab you?
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways. First of all, shout out to my son DT Devin Turner. He's 16-year-old. He's 16 years old, guys, and he's been in business for 2 years, and it has been expanding. God has been really, really favoring him. You can reach out to us at support at King of Graphics, and that is graphics with an X, so grapx.com. And you guys can also just message me. On social media or contact DA and DP. They know how to get in contact with me. But yeah, well, my son is offering a $25 motion flyer special for September, so I'm gonna need y'all to take advantage of that, because DT gonna hook you up and make sure that he is contributing to the success of your business, and that's what I teach my son at Richmond University. So we'll be making sure we draft y'all something up coming soon.
Thanks a lot, boss lady. Mayette, what you got for the people going out?
I just appreciate the platform to share my opinions always. Love that y'all keep it respectful and classy. That's it. I'll see y'all on another episode.
Pub your stuff. Pub your stuff. It's ladies in here.
Tell them about the line that's coming
I
out.
did just drop, huh? Y'all, I I dropped a boutique course. If anybody's interested in learning how to run a boutique, we are running a special right now for $100. Inbox me. I will get you the course. It provides how to create your business. Great vendors, Fashion Nova, all the big companies use, how to market, how to launch, color theory, etc., etc. So it is a very in-depth course. And if you do need mentorship, we do offer that as well. So, yes.
Hey, man, I thank you both greatly. I appreciate you all. This was a great show, man. Reach out to my sis, Mayette. Reach out to sis, Miss Ward, boss lady. They can get y'all right, man. I appreciate y'all rocking, man. I just want to talk this DA, man. Peace out, man. We gone.